Aliens have been all the rage this past September when supposedly real corpses of aliens were brought forth to the fucking Mexican Congress by a self-proclaimed UFOologist. Jamie Masson claimed the bodies, which looked like papier-mâché Halloween skeletons, IMO, were apparently carbon-dated to 1,000 years old and had lab tests with X-rays done on them, which supposedly revealed eggs within. Why a hoax that looks this shoddy was ever given any consideration by anyone, much less a governing body this high up, is beyond me. Why am I talking about this exactly? Because I hate the public's general consensus on what aliens and their vehicles, UFOs, looked like. Bodies brought before Mexican Congress, and bodies featured in many pieces of quote-unquote photographic evidence, closely resemble greys, pop culture aliens that became prominent after the UFO craze in the 50s, that are extremely humanoid in nature. These creatures have 4 limbs with 5 fingers and toes on each limb respectively, a clearly defined head with 1 mouth, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, and 2 ear holes, and they stand straight back with a visible, familiar bone structure. There's basically nothing distinguishing them from a bald child. They look far too human to be something that arose from an entirely unrelated ecosystem. Think about it with me for a little bit. Earth is special. We have yet to find a planet like it. It's able to host liquid water, has a robust atmosphere, a strong magnetic field, has a good sun, moon, and neighbors like Jupiter, and probably a lot more things that are good for life on Earth that I've failed to consider. Other habitable planets might not be so lucky. They could be in the far reaches of their habitable zones, have really high gravity, or orbit a less optimal type of star. These circumstances would exert different pressures on their resident life, which would obviously produce more extreme or different forms of life. And even after that, the complex forms of life produced by these planets' ecosystems would probably barely resemble life on our planet, having different body plans, with wildly different appearances and orientations of limbs, sensory structures, and general body composition. The complex forms of life on these hypothetical planets could be silicon-based, or have hydrostatic skeletons, or be tripodal, apodal, fucking heptapodal, you name it. If you want to get a feel for how adaptive radiation and environmental conditions shape what all life on a planet could look like, watch Bill Meridion's Alien Biosphere series. It's a very good speculative evolution project that tracks the lineages of multiple alien creatures from their humble beginnings as simple sea life, to their migration to land, through several extinction events, and finally to the emergence of intelligence. Some other good depictions of alien ecosystems can be found in The Art of Expedition by Wayne Barlow, Polynices by J.G. Inort, and The Cluster by Charlotte Veldhuizen. Now I know I just made a video about convergent evolution, which is a phenomenon where animals that inhabit similar niches will adopt similar body plans. So somebody is probably going to ask, what if a humanoid body plan is just a form all intelligent life will inevitably converge on? Yes, intelligent life will probably need a free set of limbs for manipulating objects, a large brain or equivalent organ, a good sensory suite of processing information, and social behaviors to share information amongst each other and to transfer information to younger individuals to probably rise to the level with which we can think. But we can look to Earth for examples of intelligent animals that don't necessarily have all these features. Octopi aren't very social but can manipulate and use tools, and have developed senses and large brains. Dolphins, corvids, and elephants don't exactly have ideal means of manipulating things around them, having to resort to mouths or prehensile noses to utilize tools, but are very social, sometimes even hierarchical, and have developed senses and large brains. So intelligent life isn't necessarily relegated to being anthropomorphic. So now that I've covered my issues with the average person's quintessential idea of an alien, I'm going to report UFOs. I don't think that the stereotypical flying saucer is a popular depiction of alien craft nowadays, but it was more common during the 50s UFO craze. It was obviously inspired by the retro-futuristic media of its time, with the aforementioned saucer and simple glass or metal cockpit, along with a host of technologies indistinguishable from magic. Recently, I've seen more UFOs being depicted as simple shapes like tic-tacs and black triangles or balls of pure light. Both of these interpretations of UFOs have no control surfaces, move with no discernible means of propulsion for atmospheric or space flight, and they move in impossible ways, accelerating and changing direction at impossible speeds in mere instant. Looking at the only example we have for spacecraft, human spacecraft, we find that both the historic and present incarnations of UFOs get all the more unrealistic. As mentioned earlier, there are no means of propulsion, no radiators for heat produced by internal systems, no means of collecting power, no means of storing propellant, no means of communication, and no means of connecting or interacting with other spacecraft in a vacuum. Those are just features that would make these craft spaceworthy. In atmosphere, these things are just as unrealistic. Again, there are no control surfaces, no means of propulsion, no means of generating lift, and no discernible means of escaping the atmosphere, which is something vehicles that operate in space and atmosphere will need, like the space shuttle. In summary, the anthropocentric view of extraterrestrial life in space is very limiting. The existence of extraterrestrial life, if it exists, may be far more exotic and different from what we often imagine. The vast diversity of potential life forms that could exist on other planets with radically different environmental conditions is just too great. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the cosmos, it's crucial to keep an open mind, embracing the potential for diverse and unfamiliar forms of life in spacecraft. As always, thanks for watching the video. Like it if you like it, subscribe if you want more, and maybe check out my other videos if you're interested. The reaction to my last video was amazing. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of how to optimize the way my videos perform in the algorithm with titles, thumbnails, and descriptions to get things out there, but your interaction with my videos always helped me more so. Thank you to everyone who left nice comments and likes, and see ya.